I just got a special delivery, ground specially by the tour department. You gotta love when the company sends you something pretty cool. So look side by side, you can see that there's Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Coach Paul again with some interesting equipment. I have right here what looks like a Callaway 12X grind, 6012X grind. However, there's something pretty unique about this. We've got a different grind here. This was sent to me by the tour department at Callaway, and this is what they call the Z Grind. So we have a different shape in here, and we have some half moon kind of configuration in here where they let out a little bit more on the toe and a little bit more on the heel. This X grind is great for thicker, rough, fluffier lies, fluffy sand. If we look side by side, you can see that there's an aggressive grind right here on the back, right there, that doesn't exist here. So this might be something that's more for, you know, coming out of the tour department is going to be what's more kind of on the tour side, probably for softer sand. But if you want to open the face up, right, we have relief. We have relief here at the heel and the toe. You can see that crescent shape on the heel and the toe. But there are some guys on tour that play this, and particularly what they're looking for is, can I play some shots off of a number of different lies? They have much fluffier sand there. So we're gonna test it here in southern Texas. We'll talk about who this might be for and what you might get out of it if you don't play in those ideal conditions. Let's see some chips. We're gonna start here with our little kind of uphill chips, see what kind of movement we can get off here. I like to start with uphill chips when I'm testing wedges or flat lies, just to see what happens if I move pressure away from what the grind is doing, just for a feel off the face, right? Because uphill, there's nothing behind the ball. It's got that raw face on it, so that it is going to be generating some spin. Now you'll see as I'm going to play some basic chips, some standard square face. Right, getting a feel for how much release I get first, and then kind of adjusting. We'll see if I can play some open face shots too. Right, and obviously depends on the kind of chip you want to play, how much roll you want to get. So far I'm only playing kind of square face, little baby bump and runs. Okay, on that one I could feel a little bit of that toe digging in. Again, this is going to have a lot of more for the deeper kind of rough. There's going to be a lot of toe bounce there with some heel relief. But as you kind of get through the ball, you can feel that toe dig in for me. Fair amount of spin. So now let's move on to some open face, a little bit of open face, little kind of nippy biters here. Let's see what we could do. A little higher, softer flight. See if I can get the feel of what this wedge can do. And it's really important, really, like, now depending on your technique, right, what you like to do, a wedge will fit very differently for you, right? I really like to play those like open face, more high soft, a little bit off the toe. Right now I'm getting some toe digging in, and you can see that one on the ground coming up. That's from the toe side. So when I try to open this face up, it's gonna be a little bit tougher. There I made an adjustment. I kind of leave the toe in the air to relieve myself from that grind. So that's one way to kind of change the effect of the grind, right? Because if I'm gonna lift it up this way, make it more effectively upright, I can get away with a little bit more. Oh, and there was the low scud. It's all right, kids, it happens. So we have the low. Now let's try the high and medium. Let's try a higher soft. This one's gonna be a really tough shot. I mean, obviously this is a thin lie. This is a tough lie to do this off of. But if you wanna play a shot like this, I don't know if this is the right wedge for you. Trying to play those softer, kind of higher lofted. Obviously, you guys, if you checked my other video for the Tour Grind wedge that I'm playing, the Wilson Staff Tour Grind, I can play a shot like that, but this is going to be really tough to kind of do. Yeah, I kind of have to force the toe into the ground and I lose momentum. I just wouldn't be able to play this kind of shot. Now, sometimes you might ask, well, why would you play that shot if it's thin lies? And well, what if I have a situation where, you know, I'm short-sighting myself and I kind of have this and I need, and I have a ledge, right? So, you know, overall, on average, you guys are probably playing courses where maybe you'll just kind of need some simple bump and run type of stuff. But again, these firmer conditions, especially, you know, we see a lot of collars around greens cut a little bit shorter. It's kind of, this may, depending on your technique, it just may not be the right one for you. Let's test some out of the bunker, out of some firm sand here. So you can see I'm down here a good 10 feet below you guys. I'm really gonna test this out. Again, you can hear the crunch, you can see this kind of thin sand, and the reality is a lot of us play this in you know, on public golf courses, and we just don't get that same soft sand. Okay, pretty good, felt good, cut through the sand there. You can see kind of how it goes through. Bouncing there is nice. Arrow on, little bit chunkier, toe dug in. Right, there's that back, right? So not only does a golf club have to go in the sand, but then it has to exit out. So it's on that exit out really that you're gonna see that bounce and that grind kind of work. Yeah. So we're in a real firm part of the bunker right now. Let's see. Yeah, hitting some firm kind of. Yeah, it's going to be hard to kind of really trust it. But again, you know, this is the reality when you're playing kind of public golf. You get these. They're not. This wedge again is great for maybe if we had more sand. So let me pull some sand over to kind of mimic a little bit softer, deeper bunker. That's a way if you play or practice somewhere where they don't have much sand, what you do is you kind of pull some sand over. Now watch the difference of how this club reacts in here. See how now I can get that soft spinner out of here. Now I went and I got my wedge, that grind. This is that Wilson Tour Grind, just to kind of see what we can do out of thin lies, you know, if I have it, and see which kind of works through that sand a little bit better. Yeah, and you can see, I mean, it just comes out, it digs in, plays firm sand more like regular sand. But again, this is why it comes right out of there nicely. But this is why you might have different wedges, right? So if you go and you know you're playing a place that has some soft sand, you might go to something soft like sand and some thick rough around those greens. Yeah, I mean, that'll come on. All right, guys, thanks for watching. It was definitely a little bit, I hope, of an eye opener for you guys on what goes into grinds, where you should play them, and kind of the conditions, thinking about the conditions that you play at. It's definitely super important to get fitted. But the equipment you have that may not work on your course may be valuable if you play somewhere else, right? So people travel, they drive an hour and a half away, and their wedge might work great at a golf course that's maybe deep in the woods. So Just understanding what these two different grinds and wedges will do is really important in this video, and I hope it kind of passed along to you to understand maybe how to make your work easier on the golf course and how to make your equipment work better. Stay focused, keep practicing. If there's anything you guys want to see equipment wise, let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you at the next one.